Hello, hello. This is Orion Escalus, Celestial Wanderer, and AstraLog Member number 1. Hey, Pana, welcome in. Ori-kun. I've never had an honorific like that added. Hey, Ken, welcome in. All right, yeah, hope you have a good time working too. So today, I thought it would be kind of interesting to do something a little bit different, or rather, very, very different. Hey, Canada, welcome in. Ori-sama. Actually, let me know if the audio is too loud. All of my audio settings got reset when I restarted everything after being away for so long. I think it's a little loud. Yeah, I think that should be good. Wholesome reminder. All right, yeah, I turned it down just a little bit. And a hydration. Okay, let me hydrate and wholesome reminder. Hey, Colden, welcome in. Oh man, I've learned. Okay, wholesome reminder first. There is somebody out there who you probably have not been in touch with for a long enough time that they would like to hear from you. Whether it be a parent, guardian, a sibling, friend, whatever. Just reach out to them. Send them a email. Send them a message. Give them a call, and they'll probably be happy enough to hear from you that they won't even mind that an anime person on Twitch was the one who told you to do it, right? Ooh, playing content warning sounds like fun. I think I'm going to end up playing content warning relatively soon, I think, but we shall see. Okay, hold on. Am I sharing the right screen? I think I'm sharing the right screen. All right, so Myers-Briggs tests, as far as I know, are the things where you answer questions and it tries to put you into a box that's either like introverted or extroverted. And there's like variations on that. And I've never really done one of these before. I knew some friends that did one, and right afterwards they went on like a list. There's like a database of sort of character traits applied to famous people and or like fictional characters, I guess. So I'm going to take the test and I'm going to explain every step so that you will all understand who I, Orion Escalus, am as a person a little better, perhaps. And yeah, we'll see who I get compared to. Oh my gosh. I took a look at the database and there's some like really awful people on that list, and I'm like, I hope I don't get compared to a really awful person. All right. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a bit of a different thing. So watch me fail this personality test. Ready? All right. I don't know how many steps there are, and I really hope it doesn't do a silly thing where it's like, okay, now that you've done the test, you got to log in to get your results, because I am not logging in to a random website to get results like that. I'll figure out something, right? Yeah, like it was recommended to me that this particular one is one that a lot of people seem to take for this kind of thing. So let's get into it. The questions aren't numbered. They aren't numbered, but I'll give it a shot. You regularly make new friends. This is a hard one. This is actually a really hard one, because these past few months I've been pushing myself way out of my comfort zone to be more active in the community, right? For about like the entire first year that I streamed, I played obscure single player. Hey Kiwi, welcome in. I played obscure single player games with plot twists and kind of just shrugged in the general direction of the difficulty curve of Dark Souls, right? I did not do very well interacting with other people. And I think generally I'm really bad at making friends, and I'm not sure if I should gauge my progress based on where I'm going or where I was. And I think I'm going to end up somewhere. I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle, I think. Hey, Batman guy, welcome in. Favorite new single player plot twist game streamer. I had to elevator pitch myself recently, and I was like, what is my claim to fame? Is it just playing obscure single player games with plot twists? Hey Ocean, welcome in. Right. So, do I regularly make new friends? Okay, I hope I can change the answer after I click it, because last year, actually, is my cursor showing up on the screen? I don't think it is. That is unfortunate. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, where is it? The opera tab. do have capture cursor. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing up. I guess sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, there it is. I guess it needs to be in focus. Whew, okay, if it was okay, well, hold on. Let me change that one, because if it was last year, it would have been here. And I'm kind of pushing myself in this direction, but I don't think I'm there yet. Now, don't take this in like a bad way at all, because it's not like I don't want to make friends. I'm just really, really bad at it. And in a way, I'm kind of forcing myself to become better, like throwing the baby bird out of the nest to kind of get a bit of a running start. Like, where do I want to be? I want to be here. I want to be here, but I'm taking baby steps. I'm taking baby steps, because last year I would have been here 100%, 110%. Right, complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward. Yup, 100%, 100%. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how much I'm cooking right now, both figuratively and literally. I made like okonomiyaki last night on top of working on 7 projects at the same time. My gosh, I'm doing my best to hold things together. It probably is going to be like a light-ish next few weeks, because I need to get these projects off the ground if I'm going to be able to complete them in a timely manner. But I've got big ideas, and ooh, I am but a part of me does also agree that like simple is better, but forget about it. Even if I know simple is better, I'm going to go for the more complex kind of solution, because I'm like, this is more interesting. Man has his stove running. Oh shoot, I better go turn it off. No. All right. Let's see. Usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. Okay, is this what one of the facets of the classification are? Like emotion versus logic? Let's see. More persuaded by what? So, emotion or facts, right? Emotion or facts. I think. Emotion or facts. Oh, I'm actually going to say I'm right in the middle. I'm right in the middle. Yeah. That is one of the V's? One of the tenants? I see. Because I am a very logical person, but I am swayed by emotion, I think. I think I'm just... I'm just thinking, like what makes me emotional? Good narratives. Good narratives make me emotional, but... Emotion versus... I'm right in the middle. I'm right in the middle there. Okay. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. Okay. I very much dislike clutter. However, because I oftentimes spend so much time working on projects and like bam, 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 going from one to another, a lot of times it does end up being cluttered. But I think this is my preference. Spent 50 Orion cookies to hydrate. Oh my god, my things aren't working. Wait, really? No, hold on a second. I didn't get a hydration thing. But you know what? You're on YouTube and you don't have access to that thing. So I will hydrate. Hey Warhaven. Hey List Guy. Welcome in. All right. Yeah, your figurative tokens, I guess, your widgets, your Orion widgets have allowed you to grant me a drink. How am I doing? I'm really busy. I literally got back from Japan and started traveling for like another 2 weeks, and then started working on a bunch of projects simultaneously. 4 things are extroversion E or introversion. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not going to read that because I don't want like understanding of how the test works to inadvertently cause me to game the system, if that's all right. Hey Sele, welcome in. Yo, everyone, hold on a second. Sele's 6-month anniversary is happening this Saturday, and you're doing a 12-hour stream, right? 12-hour stream? Oh my gosh, don't miss out. Don't miss out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Man, game recognizes game. Sele says I sure am cooking. Game recognizes game, okay? Sele's cooking too, and oh, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's see. Living and working spaces are clean and organized. I prioritize it a lot, in an ideal world, if I had an infinite amount of time, I would want to be in like super cleanliness. But I'll dock myself a point because I'm kind of bad. I'm kind of bad about actually doing that. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. Yes. Yes, I've played Dark Souls. Hey Coops, welcome in. Who the heck is Myers and why is he Briggs? I don't know. I think it was like two psychologists that theorized that you could boil down human personality into specific boxes, I think. I'm 99% sure it was debunked because personality is way more complex, but it's just fun in general, I think. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get like a local advertisement that's like Moroccan Pizza Hut in your area, you know? I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna hide my screen when I go to the next page just in case it loads like a pop-up or something. Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers. Interesting. But it's called the Myers-Briggs test and not the Briggs-Myers test. Interesting. Already did that to Sele. Shouldn't boil people. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing that edit. That was fantastic. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I need to go all in on that, unfortunately. It is a weakness. It is a weakness in my character, and I need to fix that. Well, you know, hold on a second. It's not always a matter of like, you need to fix something, right? Because this just defines very loosely who you are. And there's nothing wrong with being who you are. It's just, I personally seek to improve myself, and I see an improvement to myself along these lines, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think that's pretty profound. Okay, hold on a second. I'm censoring just in case there's pop-up ads telling me about Morocco, which I totally don't live at. Right, it says we're 10% of the way through. Okay. All right. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. This is another one where oftentimes in a perfect world, I would 100% get things done before the deadline. But oftentimes I'm working on literally so much at the same time that it's very difficult to actually hit the stuff. Also, how do you quantify a task as completed, right? I think daunting means you don't like promoting yourself. I kind of don't, but I'm also like forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone again. Did this years ago. Loki want to retake this test. You know, people do change over time. I have a feeling if I took this test like 5 years ago, I probably would have answered very differently. Probably would have been way more on the introverted side, I think. Or at least that's how I thought. Because I'm 99% sure I'm actually extroverted, but I'm just really bad at interacting with people, if that makes sense. If I am alone by myself, I am lonely and will waste away to nothing. It's like a plant without water. But at the same time, I also don't reach out to people as much as I probably should. If anyone out there has gotten like a friend request or a DM or like just me interacting with them, it's me trying to get better at that. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just extroverted online, introverted IRL. Interesting. I'm guessing there's multiple tiers of this. I get the feeling that you can fit into multiple boxes, and that's probably why this particular test isn't really regarded as like the be-all end-all of this kind of thing, right? It's impossible to quantify personality by just putting people in 4 boxes, I guess. Do I plan them efficiently? Hey Hexa, welcome in. Thinking behind it is a good way to define your personality at the current moment and not to be taken super seriously. Interesting. And welcome to the stream. Thanks for chatting. it's a big thing now, especially as like how people work online versus a real setting. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely extroverted in how I recharge my batteries, right? I think that's a good sort of metaphor slash simile. I think it's a metaphor, yeah. Like charging your batteries. How you do it, whether it's like alone time or with other people, defines very generally introversion or extroversion. And I definitely charge my batteries by being around people, but I'm also pretty bad at reaching out to strangers. I think if I'm friends with someone or well acquainted with somebody already, I'm way more like open and comfortable, I think. All right, but back to the task at hand. Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about is what defines a task as being completed. I'm the kind of person who could work on a project, and if you gave me a month to work on it, even if I quote unquote finish the project in a week, I'm going to spend the entire rest of the month polishing it off and making it like even better, even cooler. Man, that's why I don't release projects in a timely manner. It's probably, I don't want to say perfectionism, but it might be actually. it might be because I'm striving to just make something its best form, I guess. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna, if this is like a grading rubric, I'm gonna put myself here because I do get the bare minimum done. It's not like I procrastinate. At least I try not to. It's just sometimes I do have too much going on, and that's my own fault for taking on too many projects. All right, yeah, let's go there. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. While being a very, I feel like I'm a very logical person, but at the same time, emotions do sway me a significant amount. I'll put myself here. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Yes, 100%. I write everything out in like a Google Keep thingy. It's just like a little Google Notepad kind of thing that connects to your account, and anywhere you're logged in, you can get in. It's not perfect, but I do write out a lot of things in there. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall... Oh, absolutely. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Oh my gosh. The smallest setback... I may not show it in person. I may not show it on the outside, but small setbacks make it feel like I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed, and I'm just trying to keep it to myself. So like someone sent me a mean comment. I'm like, ooh. Ooh. I put on a tough front, I guess, but ooh, I feel it. All right, you feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation? No, I am not good at that at all. 100% awful. That is... Feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting, striking up a conversation. If I were to do that, it's because I'm forcing myself to grow, not because I'm comfortable doing it. Gosh, one of the friends that was on the Japan trip with me just would like talk to people, and I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? Some kind of witchcraft, sorcery. I'm like, what is this? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I respect that. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, this person was... Gosh, I don't know the term, so I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it without knowing what it is. Hold on a second. Let me pull up my other phone to check, because I don't want to accidentally put it up on the screen. There was a phrase he would use to describe people, and I think it describes him. Okay, I don't know if it's a very good descriptor, but if you did anything with any amount of eloquence, he'd be like, Mac God. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. You are not too interested. Yeah, I don't think Mac God is a very good descriptor according to Urban Dictionary, but I think he said it jokingly more than anything. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. I quite like them, actually. I can talk for days about complex plot lines and what it means and where it goes. But I do also think that at the end of the day, like, I'm not all in, because a part of me does also think maybe the shades, maybe the curtains are blue for no reason, not because the author's sad, you know? You know when you're taking a literary course and there's like over-analysis? It's like, clearly the author did this because this. And then there's cases where people have emailed the author and been like, is that what you meant? And they're like, nah, I just needed a color. All right. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Hydrate. Hey, Palm, welcome in. I will, in fact, hydrate. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Okay. I'm trying to think of a situation where this would happen. Like, is this... When I try doing something, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but it's like, don't hurt people's feelings versus the most logical, like, course to take, right? I think I'm here. I think I'm here because I do care about people's feelings, but if they need to figuratively get their shit together, I will tell them. Just straight up. You know, like if someone's in bad shape, I wouldn't want to coddle them, but I also would want to be considerate. If that makes any sense. Okay. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. No. Every hour of the day I am doing... Well, hold on. It's not quite saying I have nothing going on. It's more saying that I have a scheduled routine. I'm gonna be honest, I know what I want to do in a day, but I don't schedule myself time. I just do it, and whenever they complete or what is usually when I just go to sleep. Sometimes I'm up dummy late because I'm trying to check all these things off the list. How does day to unfold without any schedule at all? Okay, I am going to assume that this is more about the scheduling aspect and less about the nothing aspect. Like, I think I'm going to go here. Because there are scheduled things. You know what? Can confirm, man can stay up dummy late. Yeah, okay. Allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Okay, I clearly stick to a schedule. So, points for disagreeing. I stick to scheduled things, but I don't schedule every single moment of the day. I think I'm a soft disagree, because there are one or two things. Well, I mean, there are things that I must do at certain points in time, and I am quite good about meeting those expectations that I've set for myself and that other people have had for me. It's not like I'm not super going with the flow, but I kind of am, because every time I'm not streaming or working or spending time on something I'm obligated to do, this is a hard one. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. I think I'm fine here, because I do have scheduled events, but I don't meticulously schedule every little thing in my day. Like, there's a list of things I want to do every day. I don't write it out. I just have like a mental note that, oh, Orion, you want to work on this project, and cook dinner. I'm like, okay, I'll try that. And then I go to sleep when they're done. Okay. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on the people you meet. I am quite worried. In fact, I'm quite worried. How worried am I? I'm not. I know I used that one Bochi meme as my thumbnail, but I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Oh, Bochi the Rock is so good. It's so good. I do worry. I do worry a fair amount, but it doesn't paralyze me. Again, it's like I get stabbed, right? And I'm just putting on a strong face. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. I kind of do. I kind of do. But there's my failure in social interaction, I suppose. A normal amount of worry. Is that a normal thing? Do you feel like you're stabbed when something goes wrong? I think I'm just overreacting somewhat. You enjoy participating? I do enjoy participating in team-based activities, but the team has got to be people I know, I think. Yeah. But I'm also pretty happy doing things on my own, so I'm a light agree here. I'm a light agree. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. I kind of do. Wait, I do experiment a lot when I cook. Both figuratively and literally. The thing is, though, usually when I figure something out really well, if I were to do that kind of thing again, I would stick to what works really well. It's not that I stop iterating, but if I cook a meal a particular way and I balance the recipe perfectly based on my preference and what I want to eat or something, I'll stick to that recipe. But usually that means if I have something figured out, I start experimenting with something else. I think I'm a medium agree here. Oh, thanks for the alert, Kiwi. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. This feels very similar to the first question, actually. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. That really does feel like the first one. You prioritize facts over people's feelings. Yeah, this is a little more direct. I think I'm a light. I light agree here. I light agree. Okay. You actively seek out new Yes, 100%. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. I am constantly experimenting with new creative ventures, whether I get very far in them at all. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun experimenting with different things. I wouldn't have started drawing this past few weeks if I didn't jump there. Exactly. AstraLog is a fantastic vessel for trying new and amazing things. New and amazing things. The thing is, while I actively seek out new experiences, I do not abandon the old ones. I don't abandon the old ones. Things that I put time and energy into are tremendously dear to me. And even if I'm not as active in some things I used to be a big fan of, like Bionicle, right? Oh, if I could have a conversation about the deepest lore of Bionicle, oh, you better be ready. Okay, you are prone to worrying about things that will take a turn for the worse. Absolutely. I worry so much. I worry so much. It's honestly a pretty inspiring trait. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. You're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Always, always, always. I overthink a lot. And in imagining every awful scenario, I feel nagging doubt. Again, it's like being stabbed and again, getting stabbed and putting on a strong face. I don't really let it affect me in how I act day to day, but it does hit me pretty hard from an emotional standpoint. It's like Orion gets stabbed a lot. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm suddenly like a vision of Caesar getting stabbed by the Roman Senate just appeared but the Roman Senate is all my insecurities. But Caesar puts on a strong face. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Yeah, actually, thinking about the previous question, something that just jumped out at me. Oftentimes, I worry so much about potential negatives that I have missed out on potential positives just because I'm going like GTX 5090, thinking about all the awful scenarios that can occur if everything goes wrong. Yeah, but I try to not let it affect me. I wonder if I draw art of me as Caesar getting stabbed. That would be so incredibly specific. Let's see. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. I'm gonna go right down the middle here. I'm gonna go right down the middle because I enjoy me a good round of Dark Souls, but I also enjoy being awful at Apex Legends or whatever the flavor of the week multiplayer game is. Although I don't think I've actually played any of them on stream other than Apex. I haven't played Content Warning. I haven't played Lethal Company. I haven't played Among Us. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. I can see myself writing fictional stories for fun. That's kind of what I'm doing here. Am I right or am I right? Okay, you cannot imagine yourself. For a living? For a living? I like lore, perhaps more than... No, I do like narrative. How do my fictional stories manifest? While I enjoy fiction, I feel that I'm better at writing lore than I am writing a scenario, if that makes any sense. Like, throw me into a Dark Souls kind of thing where I'm writing the item descriptions for a bunch of stuff. Ooh, I like that. But write the story about, like, writing the straight up narrative with like a start, middle, and end. I don't think I'm very good at that. Yeah, just because I'm bad at it. Just because I'm bad at it. I think I'll agree, but perhaps not strongly agree. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. Oh, it's one of these again. You favor efficiency. No. You have to factor in emotion, because emotion is the human element, I think. All right. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Yes. 100%. I think if I'm interpreting this correctly, actually, what is relaxing to me? What is relaxing? Streaming is relaxing, but I also kind of consider it a scheduled obligation. I'm sort of obliging myself to relax. I don't think I would actually do anything fun or relaxing if I didn't force myself to do it. That feels so strange to say, but before I started streaming, I worked a lot of overtime. Not because it was necessary, but just because I could feel myself progressing, I guess. And that's a good feeling. And I considered that to be a chore in a lot of ways, because like, is this how you value obligation before self-fulfillment? I'm gonna knock that down to just an agree, because I think I'm getting better here. Maybe I'm reading too deep into this. Maybe I'm just reading too deep into it. But I think that's a fine thing. 40%. Good gravy. The stream's been like 40 minutes long already. 1 minute for 1%. Okay, let's keep pushing forward. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. Ooh, while I do want people to not feel bad, I'm also I also want to make my point. Like, haha, I told you so, but not to that extent. Not to that extent. I don't think it's a conscious thing that I do. I don't think it's conscious. Oh my gosh, am I an awful person? Oh, this test is just going to tell me I'm an awful person. It's like, yes, you are every villain character in every show. Congratulations. Okay, no. In disagreements, you prioritize. No. Oh. If I saw someone in like a bad situation and they needed someone to talk to, I would probably put myself more on the emotion side. But when it comes to proving a point, ooh, it gets personal. You are a villain. This may get stabbed a lot. It seems hard to fit into 4 letters. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Raid from Sele. Hello, Raiders. Welcome in. I'm Orion, Escalus, Celestial Wanderer, and AstraLog Member number 1, and I am letting a survey tell me who I am. Ooh, thank you for the shout out, Sele. You are doing Crypto the Necrodancer? Yo, I have felt like I want to play that game sooner rather than later. I've been listening to the soundtrack, and I've seen some streams. Hey, Resurrected Jason, welcome in. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, by the way, this is not the usual thing I do. This is just a fun one-off kind of variety thing, because I'm sort of easing myself back into streaming after having been away for like over a month. Okay. Oh, this is me being a bad person, but in an argument, yeah, a personality test. I've never taken one of these things before. I am aware that they're not super scientifically accurate, but it's just a fun thing to do, and I kind of want to see what category it puts me in when all is said and done. And it's also giving me an opportunity to kind of speak my mind about what I think about myself and a lot of other things as well. Okay, so in a completely neutral situation, I would not want someone to feel bad. However, ooh, in a disagreement, it becomes personal. And I think that's bad. I think that's bad. I actually think that's a bad thing, because if I was arguing with someone, ooh, I don't think it's happened, but I'm afraid that I might make someone cry if I really wanted to prove a point. When it comes to disagreements, all bets are off for me. Hey, Sai, welcome in. I hope you had fun with your stream. If you need any post-stream care of any kind, whether you need to rest, drink water, or eat food, by all means, go and take care of that. But welcome in. Usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. This is where far left is where I would have been last year, but now I'm here. I want to say I'm here. I'm pushing myself. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, again, for anyone just coming in, if I say anything is bad, I don't mean objectively. I just mean in how I am trying to grow as a person. I'm getting so deep with this. I'm getting so deep with it. Speedrunning, but the game said no multiple times. Ooh, were you playing with like the increased speed modifier or something? I've seen speedruns where people were doing that. It was kind of nuts. Oh, that's awesome though. That's the skill ceiling. Oh, rather, both the skill floor and the skill ceiling is so high in Necrodancer. I'm very curious to try it out someday. I think I would be very bad at it at first, but I think I can get into the groove. It looks like a lot of fun. Your mood can change very quickly. 2 runs of Crypt at the end. Ooh, that's awesome. Doing Pikmin? I know there's the official kind of Zelda crossover with like, what's that, Cadence of Hyrule? But is there a Pikmin crossover too? I don't know. Is it some community shorthand for something else? Your mood can change very quickly. I'm going to light agree with this, right? Because there's situations like I'm Stoic is probably not. Oh, you were speedrunning Pikmin 3. Oh, I was like, are there Pikmin in Necrodancer? That would be so cool. Like, what's the name of that song? Something no Uta? Just imagine a Pikmin soundtrack. Actually, hold on. Pikmin has a lot of like atmospheric sounds, right? There are mods that add that. Oh, okay. Thank you, modding community, for doing amazing things. Yeah, your mood can change very quickly. All right, so here's my justification for a light agree. I think I have a lot of... Gosh, I don't know how to explain this. I have a lot... I'm going to use a physics metaphor. Are you ready? Because this is a stupid physics metaphor, but I think it might work. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, right? And by extension, what it is supposed to mean is that the more mass something has, the less it'll sway. I think I have a lot of emotional mass. My emotion is thick, and it doesn't move very quickly. So if I am going to be in a bad mood, maybe if something bad happened and I'm like moping or something, it'll be kind of difficult to push me towards like a better emotional state, because it's like my emotions are driven by a compass that is sitting in molasses. That's such a terrible metaphor. That is so terrible. But it will change, but it'll change slowly, right? But at the same time, if I see something that's like injustice, and I'm not talking about the game. Oop, Sai, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I'm not talking about the fighting game, but although I understand that there's a lot of actual injustice in that game. Like, what's the meme? With a prior amount, with a sufficient amount of preparation time, Batman could beat anyone, right? There's like a meme in that game because there are stage hazards that you can kind of throw at people, and Batman is really good at throwing dumpsters at people. Like infinite combos level of like being really good at it. So the joke with that game is that a sufficient amount of preparation to just get Batman a dumpster. That's all he needs. He could defeat anyone. He could defeat Superman with a dumpster. Right. But what I'm trying to say here is that if I see something that goes against my code of honor or my sense of justice, ooh, I am going to get so upset. It doesn't even have to be at me. If I see someone being bullied or mistreated, oh my gosh, I'm going to throw hands. I'm going to throw hands. There is no brakes on that train. However, in other situations, I am kind of slow to change my emotional state. Like I will drift, I guess. All right. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. This is another logic versus emotion thing, isn't it? This is like ethics and extroversion. Yeah, I think I am. Even if something is logically correct, doesn't mean it is actually... How do I put that? Just because something is logically correct doesn't mean that it's emotionally correct, perhaps. I don't know if that makes any sense. You often end up doing things at the last moment possible. Hard disagree there. Hard disagree. Hey, Resurrected Jason. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it a lot. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Oh, shoot. I should totally take the trolley problem test. Oh my gosh. If there's time, I'm going to take... Yeah, if there's time, I'm going to take the trolley problem test thingy. That sort of like comic thing someone made. The interactive comic. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, if there's time, I'm going to do that. Because this is going to be a bit of a shorter stream anyway. False. Multi-track drifting. Take them all out. Ride right down the middle. Do I enjoy debating ethical dilemmas? You know what? Hold on. I think the trolley problem can be its own... The trolley problem can be its own stream, because I already can think of a thumbnail. And it's cursed as hell, but I really want to make it now that I thought about it. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah, I'll do trolley problem stuff. Yeah, I'll do trolley problem stuff on another day. But I'm having fun. I don't want to talk about the trolley. Fair enough. Right, you enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Yeah, okay, so do I have fun doing the trolley problem, essentially? To not cite any real world kind of situation. I'm gonna be honest. Debating ethical dilemmas kind of makes me feel bad, like significantly. When there is no right answer, even if it's a theoretical, if there's no right answer, even if it's a theoretical, I'm sad in knowing that not everyone is going to be happy. I think it's a tremendously great story writing device. I think it's perfectly reasonable for a series to want to make you feel things, right? Feel happy things, feel bad things. Do I enjoy it? It makes me feel bad, but I do enjoy it in story writing. Okay, well, let's move this to a light disagree. No, I gotta go. Okay, I'm going to assume that by ethical dilemmas, it is real world ethical dilemmas, perhaps. But I feel that when it's accompanied by a narrative, it has so much potential. Do I have fun defending Funny Valentine, the good-looking one? Is that JoJo Part 7? I'm not a reader. I'm a watcher. I'm a JoJo watcher that doesn't have Netflix. So it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to catch up on the series, and I don't think they've gotten to Part 7 yet. But I do know he's a funky looking dude. Hey Asher, welcome in. I'm trying to figure out what kind of box the Myers-Briggs test wants to put me in, and I'm like halfway through. I'm just talking a lot about myself and hydrate. All right. Hey Fafnir, welcome in. We defend Funny Valentine till the day I requiem my stand. All right, fair enough. And stretch. Okay. He's got a bonkers strong stand. Okay. So the only thing I know about stand powers and characters beyond... Oh yeah, hold on. I'll stretch while I'm talking. All right. Oh, and posture check. All right. Well, as you know, this posture check is not for me. It is for all of you, because I literally cannot sit comfortably unless I have good posture. So make sure you're sitting in a position that you're not going to regret in like an hour or so. So take care of yourself. Got to lurk for a bit? All good. Yeah. Do what you need to do. All right. Cross arm stretches, hammer stretches. Oh. All right. And let's roll my shoulders. Okay, we good. All right. Yeah, posture check, stretch, and hydrate. That has been done. All right. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm kind of just talking about myself and how I sort of fit with each one of these questions. And they're really interesting because you can tell that they're kind of going with like logic and emotion, ethics and logic, and it's doing a balancing act, right? But at the same time, I think you can contextualize these differently in a lot of ways. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I really like ethical dilemmas as a plot device because it is such a strong thing. It's such a strong tool in narrative. But do I personally enjoy debating them? No, I don't. Trolley problem actually makes me feel weird because even if the dude laying on the tracks is a stick figure, I still think that man had a family, you know? Yeah, actually, one of my favorite pieces of fiction ever, the Monogatari series of novels. There's a very famous ethical dilemma in that series in which one of the characters sort of stands at a crossroads, and they can either have a happy ending for themselves by dooming someone else to a cursed existence, or they can redeem that person and take their place essentially and force themselves into the cursed existence. And spoilers, I guess? Spoilers? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say. Let's just say that the mediator in that situation presents a third option that is really, really cool. That flips the ethical dilemma on its head. And as a plot device, I think it's amazing. Hey, Merc, welcome in. Trolley problem is cringe. There's no circumstances where that happens in that way IRL, and there are definitely more things that could happen than binary choices. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's just with a lot of like equations and formulas and stuff, you do want to sort of strip away everything except the smallest number of variables, I think. Yeah, it's just a thing to do, I guess. All right, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Do you usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own? Absolutely. If I could be hanging out with people at all times, I will. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I am going to end up somewhere on the disagree side. Hey, Kaidu, welcome in. You are ENFP. Oh, actually, if you guys in chat know what your classification is, definitely hang on to it and we can compare at the end. I think it'll be fun. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion... Okay, I am definitely going to be on the disagree side, but I'm not sure how much I disagree. Because I like a good theoretical, but I do also think you could take things too far. I forgot the letters from mine, but if I recall, it was the mediator one. Interesting. Okay. You've been bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Theoretical, yes. Highly theoretical. Let's just light disagree there. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. I will normal agree with this. I will normal agree. I may know that something is better for me, but if I have an attachment to it, I am going to perhaps continue to foster whatever interaction it is, even if it's against what's good for me. Perhaps I know that putting all this hot sauce on a sandwich is going to be a bad idea, but oh man, it tastes so good. I find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Hard disagree. I actually hard disagree here because the things I need to do on a schedule, I stick to pretty well. Like work or full obligations. That is I don't have any problem deviating from that. You rarely second guess the choices that you made. No, I always. Mediator, INFP-T. What is that extra letter at the end? The T. I'm not familiar. I just thought it was a 4-letter classification system. Where friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. I think they would agree. However, they would also know that I'm not hard agree because in an unfamiliar environment or among strangers, I might be especially bad about that. Okay. Yeah, I always second guess, but again, I mentioned earlier that the second guessing is just me getting stabbed and I just smile through the pain. Hide the pain, Harold, is that his name? I believe the extra letter denotes extrovert or introvert and the T is introvert. Interesting. Oh, so it's like, I think Kiwi put the breakdown of how each letter corresponds to a different thing. And I ignored it because I don't want that influencing my decisions. But I see introversion and extroversion are tied into it. Probably, I thought the E at the beginning, the E or the I was either extrovert or introvert, or is that like emotion and intelligence? T means turbulent while A means assertive. Oh, okay. All right, well, we're 60% of the way through, so we'll find it soon enough. You were drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. I want to hard agree here, if not for the fact that they mention writing, because writing is probably my weakest creative, quote-unquote, talent. Thank you for the clarification. I haven't really forgotten. Okay, lurk for now? All right. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. It's good to have you here. You were drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Oh, writing here is just an example. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, hard agree. Hard agree. I am constantly working on creative projects. I don't think you have to be drawn to all of them. Okay, fair enough. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Okay, so this is less on the sensitivity. So for me, I'm an advocate, INFJ. I'm guessing they'll have a breakdown of each one and what it kind of represents at the end. So I have another tab open that's a database, and we can even compare like different characters or people. I was a little surprised to see like Albert Einstein in one of them right next to, I think, the entirety of Bang Dream Girls Band Party. Apparently the app itself has a rating. I'm like, what are these people on? Like, why does the app have an emotional rating? Usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Okay, I'm going to light agree here, because when it's me, I tend to be more objective. But when it's someone else, when I'm thinking of somebody else, I am attempting, I guess, to be considerate of them. You like to have a to-do list for every day. I am going to agree, but not hard agree, because, well, actually, it says nothing about schedule. I do kind of have a How do I do this? You have a to-do list for every day. It's not like I'm writing a brand new to-do list. I have a to-do list and I keep it in front of me. In fact, it's in front of me right now. There's a list of things I need to do that I want to try getting done within the day, if possible, and maybe tomorrow or the day after if I have enough time. But it's not like I make a new one every day and check everything off. I'm not that meticulous. You rarely feel insecure. I am going to light disagree. I am logically confident that I'm in a good spot, but I can't help but second guess a lot of things. You avoid making phone calls. Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess I do. I guess I don't make phone calls very often. But it's just because it's so much more convenient to, like, if I need to schedule a doctor's appointment, right? Why would I call the office and get passed around like 3 operators, then put myself on hold and just talk to one person who pencils an appointment in when I could just schedule it using the online website? I hate texting with a passion. Meanwhile, I only resort to phone calls because I hate most other means of conversation. Interesting. What are your thoughts on instant messaging? Does that fall into the same bucket as texting? You avoid making phone calls. I do avoid making phone calls, but not for the reasons that I'm guessing this is asking me, because it's just easier to press 3 buttons than spending 30 minutes changing operators. Depends. Who are we talking about? An active convo on, let's say, Discord? I wonder. I guess it would be. It would be an active conversation on Discord, like a back and forth kind of thing. The thing is, I think people can back and forth. I used to talk a lot more with my friends via text before Discord came along. Discord is just like so convenient. And I kind of just don't do group texts at all anymore. I just ping my friends when I need to talk with them. I don't mind so much. I don't like typing on a phone. If someone reaches out to me via text, I reply and they don't get it back to me for like 10 minutes. That is true. Yeah, I think with a lot of people being terminally online now, with their phones being like separate from their primary computers. Actually, no, most people are online on their phones now. Trying to have a convo. Stay around for it. Fair enough. Yeah. Ooh, okay. I am going to... You avoid making phone calls. I'm going to light agree here. I'm going to light agree because I know where it's getting at, but I'm going to answer entirely within an emotional kind of spectrum. Because I think this is for emotion. It has nothing to do with convenience. I've had people yell at me for calling them instead of texting. Ooh, wow. Well, I know people have preferred methods of communication, right? Imposing yourself on people when you call them because they have to answer. Well, I mean, if you need an answer right away, doesn't that make more sense? Yeah, I think it varies for people. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All in. All in. 70%. You can easily connect with people you have just met. That's the weird thing. Once I break the ice with someone, I'm all in. I mean, I'm not all in, but I'm pretty far in, right? Just talk to me about something I'm passionate about, and I will open up so much about that. Like, I will use text for a non-important, non-urgent thing that's only for a yes or no question kind of thing. I guess that makes sense, yeah. Sometimes when I'm trying to reach out to like Mama and Papa Escalus or something, it's a bit funny because they're not terminally online and they don't really keep their phones nearby. But sometimes I'm like, quick, what was the password for this thing, this family account or something? And they get back to me 6 hours later. That's why I don't have Netflix. Also Netflix kind of doesn't let you do that anymore. All right. Yeah, but I honestly can connect pretty easily with people I've just met. Just let's talk about something I'm passionate about. I'm just bad at meeting people in the first place. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I do believe that flexibility is something important to have, but I do also like, if we're going to make a plan, let's stick with it. I'll stick with that. Take the mentality of let's not pick up the phone. It's currently making my search for a new home that much more painful as 90% of the landlords try to reach out, never answer their phone or emails. The worst. Well, best of luck with that. It's still a miserable situation, house hunting or apartment hunting in this climate. It's so terrible. You're still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Absolutely, 100%. I still think about stupid stuff I said when I was 5. I still think about it. And it feels like I get stabbed. That's the running theme. Just stabbed. And I put on a smile and I'm just like, oh, the pain. Ah! You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. So cringing at something I did when I was like 7. I know the feeling. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. I kind of do. It just doesn't come up in everyday conversations. Like, wow, flying cars. Right, I'm gonna normal disagree with it, right? So like, I'm not. A lot of times, when you talk about what the world looks like in the future, a lot of times I've noticed it's bad stuff. You know, like just now, I talked about the housing market, right? It's kind of miserable. It's kind of miserable to talk about just awful situations that might happen, like, you know, climate change or loss of habitat or just how difficult it is to just exist these days, you know? That's not the fun conversation about the future. The fun conversations about the future are like, I don't know, Silk Song, talking about Silk Song coming out, or I don't know, flying cars, or what the world will look like in the far off era of 2021. Wasn't that where Back to the Future took place? I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know. I do like talking about the future, but I don't like talking about bad stuff about the future. I want to envision a fun, interesting future. There was one in a mall my family would go to, and if you press the emergency stop button when not in use, it would play a tune. So our family would go there, and a lady put a quarter in for her kid. Not knowing the button is the emergency stop, he decided to click it to play the tune, holding stop and wouldn't start again. When I was a kid, I pressed the stop escalator button. I was like 4 years old, and I remember it. An alarm went off, and I started crying, and I sometimes lay awake at night thinking about the one time I pressed that button, and I'm like, wow. You know what? Hold on. The way I feel better about a lot of those things, the way I think it's not fun. it's not fun to dwell on bad stuff that you can't really change, right? Especially when they're that low impact on your life. So what I immediately just make myself think is, that's character development. The fact that I'm looking back at something that made me uncomfortable and I cringe when I look at my past self, that means I've grown. The fact that I can look at that, as stupid as it might be, I have advanced beyond the person I was back then, even if it was me being 4 years old. And every little bit, you should take pride in that, I think. Even if it's me, I don't know, leaving food in the oven for too long or something, or adding an extra 0 at the end of the cook time on the air fryer, right? I've grown beyond the person I was. All right, your emotions control you more than you control them. I'm going to light disagree because, again, I feel like I get stabbed, but I don't let that rule over me. But it still hurts. It still hurts. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical and efficient. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is, again, an emotion versus logic situation that features an impact on other people. I will light agree. I will light agree. Yeah, that's a light agreement for me because I do not want a logical outcome to negatively impact people, even if it's what's good for them, if that makes sense. But also, I'm not usually in a situation where I'm holding the balance of someone's life in my hands, so I don't know. Up next, 80%. Okay, we got like 2 more pages to do. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Hey, Mako, welcome in. I'm taking a personality test, and I am overthinking every single step of it, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm talking a lot about myself and how I feel about a lot of things. Your personal work style. Okay, so I think it's not just personal work, it is the style that I work. It's closer to spontaneous burst of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'm going to light disagree. That one, I'm more or less flat in the middle. I've seen situations where logical solution had to be done regardless of if it had a negative impact, but other where the illogical options were negligible enough to ignore. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to answer these questions differently, right? When felt that it gets very personal, these questions, right? When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. I am going to super light agree on that because that is that nagging feeling that kind of hits me, even though I know I'm doing great. And I don't know, only other people can judge me. But at the same time, I also know that I'm doing a good job. I can't help that nagging feeling sometimes, you know, like you're not good enough or you let them down. Came at a good time, almost there. Hey, Alvercrust, welcome in. Yeah, we've got about 13 questions left. Insert being raised in an Asian family experience. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it works. Thanks, Mom. All right. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. This is a tough question because I have worked in positions where I've had awful people to work with. And it was some of the most miserable experiences in my life. But at the same time, I've also worked in situations where it's been incredibly rewarding. Okay, I'm going to imagine that this particular question, let's say that this question is an average scenario. Not a best case scenario, not a worst case scenario, an average scenario. So you'll have the people you don't want to work with, but you also will have the people you want to work with. Don't mind working with other people until my personal work gets stunted by others not doing their part. Oh my gosh. Yeah, talk about some of the bad groups of people I worked with. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I could talk about this story, but there once was a situation where I had to work on like a group project in school. And a person, don't mind me, just woke up, so I So I knew you were gonna stream. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Just being here at all is perfectly fine. Yeah, and not everyone can make it to every stream. That is okay. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, in this school project, we had to sort of make a pitch in front of the entire class what kind of project we were going to work on. And you would get bonus points if the project you pitched was one of the ones that would end up being worked on. And this guy just gave this outrageous pitch for an like a project that sounded dumb, but was also ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And just for being so different than everyone else's presentation, it got the top number of votes. And I was assigned to work with this person. And literally the first day we were supposed to get into groups, they actually just said, hey, I actually forgot to actually write up a pitch. So I just made up the most ridiculous thing I could think of off the top of my head. And it's stupid. And I don't want to do it. So I'm dropping this class. Bye. And the remaining group members were left with the stupidest concept ever for a project, and we had to run with it, and it was awful, it was terrible, and I hated that class. Every moment of that class was hell. Like when I'm done with a few tasks, I need to do a final check for test cases, the multiplayer check, and none of my coworkers reply to my messages. Oh, okay, so I'm going to imagine that this is goods and bads. I'm going to lightly disagree. I do enjoy working with people. I do enjoy having people to spitball ideas off of and to work towards a common goal. You know what? No. I'm gonna disagree, right? Because even if there is, yeah, I'm gonna full disagree because, or normal disagree, I guess. Because I think it is worth it to work with the few good people, even if the rest are bad. If that makes any sense. All right. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I mean, this entire stream would be a waste of time if I actually believe this. And I think this is abstract philosophy. It may not be an exact science, but it's stuff. It is a theoretical. It is a thought like experiment, right? Abstract philosophical questions. I think it can be taken too far, but I also think it's worth pondering. This kind of stuff is worth pondering. Yeah. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than to quiet, intimate places. Ooh, I like both though. I like both. I like high energy atmospheres if it's not going to disrupt my work, but if there is a situation where I'm going to be bothered by being in this bustling situation, I would prefer to work alone. But I do enjoy being productive in a setting with other people being productive, I guess. While there's also like some atmosphere there, right? I think I'm going to agree, just normal agree there. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. No, I do think about decisions a lot. That's where a lot of the overthinking and second guessing comes in, I think. It's the Twitter mindset. I mean, even theoretical and abstract questions can make you learn to think of perspectives you never considered before. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. If a decision feels right to you, I don't know for the proof. If something feels right to me, I normally would want to talk to someone. If it's a big decision, I would probably want to talk with someone else. It could be literally anything. And I still would be like, hey, I want to talk it over with somebody that I trust, you know? I think that's a disagree there. Huh. You often feel overwhelmed. I will agree, but it's not in a bad way. It's really weird, but I feel like there's too much on my plate, but I'm also like, I wish there was more time in the day because I want to do everything. I want to do everything. So I'm guessing this is overwhelmed in a negative way. I'm going to light agree, not normal agree. I'm just going to take the lighter agreement because I'm like overwhelmed, but I'm a-okay with it. It's, I think I've described it before as positive stress. Like it feels like you're making progress. Yeah, okay. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Well, first of all, this test doesn't... Ooh, actually, does this test let you skip steps? I guess it does. Actually, I'm curious. I'm curious to see if it will let me. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with... Yeah, I normally would complete things methodically without skipping over steps. I'm the kind of person that will plot out a course of action before I do it to make sure that it works. And then I follow the steps, but I'm merely curious to see if I could defy the test. So I'm going to skip to the next one and come back to here. I think I will just agree with this one. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. Okay, so in my line of work, creative solutions oftentimes will come back to bite you. I do like following concrete steps. There's the problem, right? I do, you know what? Yeah, I'm going right down the middle. I'm going right down the middle with this one. They actually let you skip. That's interesting. Depends on the scenario to me. If a task seems like it has redundant steps, I will see if I can combine steps or outright skip those. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so you complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I am going to just agree there. Yeah. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than concrete steps. I really like it when something will just work if I follow the instructions. But at the same time, if there's a problem that the instructions don't solve, I actually quite enjoy the explorative aspect. I'm going to put myself right down the middle for this one, actually, because I like them both a lot. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. No. The logical reasoning is something I do, but if it factors someone else, I think if it's just me, it's a light disagree. You struggle with deadlines. I will light disagree with that because if I do end up going right up against a deadline, the project has been quote unquote finished for weeks and I am just trying to squeeze every last bit of perfection out of it, perhaps. You feel confident things will work out for you. Confident that things will work out for you. For as much lack of confidence that I might have in myself, I can also kind of, you know, stand back and look at things from a distance and be like, isn't enough dots on the right side for me. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm rooting for you. I'm exhibiting some emotional sensitivity right here. I think things will work out fine. You're doing your best. Take care of yourself. That's important. Another wholesome reminder for free. Not only should you reach out to other people, you also need to reach out to yourself. Make sure that like it may sound selfish to say like keep an eye out for number one or put yourself first, but at the same time, the best way that you're going to be able to take care of other people is only if you're taking care of yourself. Like make sure that you yourself are okay before putting the air mask on other passengers in the flight. You know what I mean? If anyone's ever flown, there's usually a demonstration that's like, hey, if you ever need to put on the oxygen mask, make sure you put it on yourself before checking on other people. That's the kind of thing. Feel confident that things will work out for you. It's a great analogy. I've flown on a fair number of planes recently, so it's fresh in my mind. Feel confident that things will work out for you. I have a lot of doubt, but you are your own greatest supporter and your own worst enemy. That is so true. Feel confident that things will work out for you. Might agree. You know what? I'm gonna step forward with confidence. There is still some doubt in me And there probably always will be, but I'm going to say that I'm confident in a loud and clear voice. I am confident. And you know what? A lot of times things are what you make of them. So I'm going to take that step forward with confidence. All right. Drum roll, please. And we'll take a look at the result. I don't actually have a sound effect for that, but here it is. What am I? I'm an architect. INTJT. Architects are imaginative and strategic thinkers with a plan for everything. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Architect. Imaginative and strategic thinkers. 51% introverted. 51%. What? Introverted individuals tend to prefer few. Okay, I would say this is within the margin of error. I am actually riding the line here. What the heck? Yeah, no, this is margin of error stuff right here. I am riding the line. In terms of energy, tend to prefer fewer yet deep and meaningful social interactions and often feel drawn to calmer environments. That's not wrong. It's at least one side of the coin, right? 62% intuitive. Intuitive individuals are very imaginative, open-minded, and curious. They value originality, focus on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. Yeah, that describes me pretty well. 57% thinking. My gosh, this is way closer to the middle than I thought it would be. Thinking individuals focus on objectivity and rationality, often dismissing emotions in favor of logic. They tend to see effectiveness as more important than social harmony. Okay, yeah, but again, when I am thinking of myself, I will think with more logic than I do sensitivity, but I am a much more sensitive person when it comes to other people, if that makes any sense. In older variations of the test, there was an X rating for people within that range margin of error. I'd say you'd be in that range of 51%. Interesting. Do you know how far that range went? I'm kind of curious. Could have gotten an X in my four letter rating. Oh wait, hold on a second. If I'm riding the line of introversion, I may need to check both sides because I may exhibit both cases. Yeah, so in terms of energy, depends. The test was made by journalists, so there's many versions. Interesting. Well, I'd say I'm in the margin of error at like 51% because that's kind of nuts how close that is. Yeah, I am both extroverted and introverted. That's crazy. Extroverted and introverted. I'll write that down so I'll check. Wait, so it's E. Oh, so I am both E and N. Introverted. Okay, E and I. All right. And I think my intuitive nature, yeah, this is true. So I am, whatever the second letter is, I am N. Thinking. This is a tough one. This also feels like it's kind of in the realm of margin of error, but I will put T. I will put T in there. Judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity. Yeah, that's me. J. All right, so I am either an E. I'm an XNTJ. 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 That's weird. XNTJ. Okay. What happens next? Turbulent. Turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. They feel a sense of urgency in their emotions and tend to be success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. Holy, that's me. Okay. XN. Oh, I feel special for having an X there. What was it? XNTJT. Oh my gosh, I thought it just put my email up on screen. Okay. Actually, hold on. Just to be careful, I'm gonna block the screen. All right. All right. Let's do a little bit of reading, I guess. Premium Architect Suite. Oh, hold on a second. I forgot to turn. Oh, no, I was good. There was a bit of a delay on the Twitch side of things. Okay. People with INTJ personality type architects are intellectually curious individuals with deep-seated thirst for knowledge. INTJs tend to value creative ingenuity, straightforward rationality, and self-improvement. They consistently work towards enhancing intellectual abilities and are often driven by an intense desire to master any and every topic that piques their interest. That does describe me very, very well, actually. Yeah. Logical and quick thinking, pride themselves on the ability to think for themselves, not to mention their uncanny knack for seeing right through phoniness and hypocrisy. Phony. Phony. What a great song. Because their minds are never at rest, these personalities may sometimes struggle to find people who can keep up their non-stop analysis of everything around them. But when they do find like-minded individuals who appreciate their intensity and depth of thought, INTJs form profound and intellectually stimulating relationships they deeply treasure. Pioneering spirit question most things based on their beliefs on solid evidence, reasoning, and rationality. Many personality types trust the status quo, relying on conventional wisdom and other people's expertise to guide their lives. But ever skeptical, INTJ personalities prefer to make their own discoveries in their quest to find better ways of doing things. You want to know the reason why I don't have a cover out yet? It's because I want to self-produce it, and that kind of describes me pretty well. That does describe it pretty well. I could have hired a producer at a point and just covered a song I wanted to do, but I'm like, I want to learn to play the guitar part. I want to play the drum part on like a keyboard. I want to do it myself, you know? Yeah, and I do relish in that opportunity. As anyone with this personality type would tell you, a new idea isn't worth anything unless it actually works. INTJs want to be successful, not just inventive. They bring a single-minded drive to their work, applying the full force of their insight, logic, and willpower. They have little patience for anyone who tries to slow them down by enforcing pointless rules or offering poorly thought-out criticism, though astute observations are generally welcome. Actually, hold on a second. What did everybody say they were? So now that I know what I got, I want to compare. I'm kind of curious. Okay, so, strong independent streaks, don't mind acting alone. They prefer their own company. I don't agree with this one. It's a mediator back when you first took it. Okay. INFPT. Okay. It was a decade ago. Could be fun to take the test again. Oh, more. It would be a mistake to view INTJ personalities as uncaring. Ooh, interesting. Whatever the stereotypes about their stoic intellect, they feel deeply. Ooh. Okay, that's actually... Okay, I kind of disagree with this, but this kind of brings it back on track, right? Thirst for knowledge can be both the boldest dreamers and the bitterest of pessimists. Oh my gosh, that's me. It's me. It's just like me. For real, for real. Why didn't I make that the thumbnail? Oh my god, I could have made that the thumbnail. What was I thinking? See, there's that second guessing coming back. I think I got that one. That Naruto is interesting. The one that Naruto is he an architect? Does he share his feelings? I don't know. Yeah, what would happen if a ninja took this test? People with the personality type derive much of their self-esteem from their knowledge and mental acuity. In school, they may have been called bookworms or nerds. Oh my gosh. I'm being called out. Rather than taking these labels as insults, many people with this type embrace them. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Look at me now on twitch.tv/Orion Escalus. I made it. Don't just learn new things for show. They genuinely enjoy expanding the limits of their knowledge. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Far from dull or humorless. All right. This is what I'm counting on. I'm talking into a figurative void for an hour and a half. I hope I'm far from dull or humorless. Taken different tests and gotten both INFJ and ENTJ. Interesting. Huh. I wonder... This website is called 16 Personalities. I wonder where that falls in accuracy. It just happened to be when someone linked at me. I'm just like, hey, what do you recommend? And they were like, oh, Ryan, do this one. I'm like, okay. INTJs aren't known for being warm or fuzzy. They tend to prioritize rationality and success over politeness and pleasantries. I will have moments where I'll be blunt, but at the same time, I do care about other people. I do care about other people, and I do hold my tongue in cases where I may say something to reflect poorly on somebody. I wonder whether dealing with other people is even worth the frustration. Not me. This is not me. No. Like any personality type, they do crave social interaction. They just prefer to surround themselves with the people who share their values and priorities. Often they can achieve this just by being themselves. It's a bit wishy-washy, but I guess I agree. The people with INTJ personality type are full of contradictions. They're imaginative yet decisive, ambitious yet private, curious yet focused. From the outside, these contradictions may seem baffling, but they make perfect sense once you understand their inner workings, the inner workings of this personality type's mind. For these personalities, life is like a giant game of chess, relying on strategy rather than chance. Oh my gosh. Strengths and weaknesses. I can never pronounce this guy's name right. Actually, hold on a second. I'm doing something. Give me a moment. Okay, all better now. All better. I may have removed one of the entries because I didn't want to look at it. Friedrich Nietzsche? Is this the guy who... Was he one of the people who talked about nihilism? I wonder if I click on it, if it'll tell me more. Nope, it doesn't. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Colin Powell, Samantha Power, Walter White from Breaking Bad. One of the OG nihilists, yes. But wasn't his entire takeaway the fact that because everything is meaningless, it becomes even more important to derive meaning from existence? I kind of like that. That's pretty metal, if you ask me. It goes hard. Michelle Obama, Christopher Nolan. Oh my gosh, poor Eri from Astralife. Her account, the April Fool's joke went too far. Twitter didn't like that. TLDR, life has no meaning, so you should make meaning for yourself. Yeah, that goes hard. That's metal. That's metal. Christopher Nolan. I see that. I see that for Christopher Nolan, actually, because he's always looking for bigger IMAX cameras, isn't he? Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know very much about his personal life because I know him as like what? Oop, hold on a second. Oh, whoops. I should not have had this open. Do I have any information in here that is going to result in me getting doxxed? I don't think so. I don't think so. I can open an Explorer. Surprise, surprise. Samantha Power, Colin Powell. I don't know them very well. Peter Baelish from Game of Thrones. Tywin Lannister. I don't know Game of Thrones very well. I know Yennefer is like one of the hot women from Witcher, but other than that, I don't know. Why is there a Y button here? I'm afraid to click it. I'm afraid. Hold on. I'm going to put the sensor bar back on. What happens if I click the Y? Oh my God. What the heck? There's a like a 5-page essay, an actual 5-page essay analysis on why Gandalf is what he is. That's crazy. Okay. You know what? I'm navigating back. That's interesting. It's just funny to see the why there. Professor Moriarty. Why is he so evil? I don't understand. What drives him? What drives him? I don't think Arthur Conan Doyle ever elaborated on what made him so evil. He's just a bad guy who's like smart enough to kind of play chess, I guess. Chess master type character. 7 of 9, Katniss Everdeen, Jake Gatsby. I used to watch Star Trek Voyager with Mama and Papa Escalus. They would always sigh and be like, man, we wish Generation, like Next Generation was on and not Voyager, but we'll take what we can get. Let's see, Jay Gatsby. Like a 5-page essay on anything. It's not exciting, just adds filler. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Strengths and weaknesses? Strengths. Rational, informed, independent, determined, curious, original. Fair enough. Arrogant. Dismissive of emotions, overly critical, combative, socially clueless. Ouch. Ooh, romantic relationships. What is this? Friendships? Friend to all is a friend to none. Darkly funny. Darkly funny. I don't think my humor is that dark. I certainly hope not. Yeah, let's see. Oh, aren't everyone's cup of tea? Blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Parenthood. Interesting. Let's see. What job should I have? People with INTJ personality types are rarely satisfied by work that is too easy. No. No, 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 no. Give me a paycheck for the easiest job you possibly can imagine. I will use the leftover time to do creative stuff. I don't want to wear myself out doing work. I want to wear myself out doing cool stuff, doing cool creative endeavors. Early career blues. Greater challenges, blah, blah, blah. Workplace habits, blah, blah, blah. Lots of text, lots of text. Conclusion. Armed with powerful intellects and strategic minds. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I have powerful intellect. The internet said so. All right. You've read so far as an introduction. Wait, is that the Sarlacc pit? Is that the Sarlacc pit? What's happening here? Reading through this personality profile, you probably hit a tipping point. You went from the trademark INTJ skepticism to, wait, what? Int 20? I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, I don't think I'm actually that smart. I am just curious, and I am good enough with the knowledge I have that I can get by. I'm not a genius. I'm not a genius by any means. I just have dedicated myself enough to what I want to understand, that now that the stuff that I work with is the stuff I understand. I'm not going to invent a new form of math or solve one of those impossible equations. I'm not a genius, but I do apply myself very well, strongly. I know what I'm good at, and actually no, I don't know what I'm good at. I just dedicate myself. Hard work. Okay, I'm a little curious. I'm gonna go back to the introduction page, and I'm actually going to switch to the ENTJ personality page. I want to see what it has. I'm gonna block the screen for a second. Uh-oh, what did I do? I pressed the button and something happened. I like switched tabs. I hope I'm on the right tab. It just happened. Yeah, let me figure out how to get to the other. Let me figure out how to get to the other one. It might just be as simple as changing the taskbar thing, but it also has your profile loaded into the side. Interesting. Okay, so it must save your profile in memory or something, and you can visit the other pages to just see. So Commander Steve Jobs. Who the heck is Steve Jobs? All right, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. That's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. I think you should value what everyone decides to do with their life, as long as they're not causing a problem for other people. ENTJ personality type are natural-born leaders, embodying the gifts of charisma and confidence. ENTJs project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. What the heck? This describes me really well, too. No wonder I scored right down the middle for this one. What the heck? It's anything that people of this personality type love. It's a good challenge, big or small, and they firmly believe that given enough time and resources, they can achieve any goal. What the heck? Wait, this is me. They're both me. They're both me. Steve Jobs, Gordon Ramsay, Margaret Thatcher, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Jim Carrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Harrison Ford, Malcolm X. Wait, what is... Oh, it's the Indiana Jones. It's the Indiana Jones hat and stuff. That's a reference. Doctor Strange, Tony Soprano, David Palmer. There are a lot more Commander-style characters in fiction. What the heck? Downton Abbey, House of Cards. Didn't this person get canceled? I think this person got really, really, really canceled. Yeah, like, my gosh. Don't be a creep. Don't act on creepy stuff. Oh my god. Messed up. Oh, I liked Firefly. That was good. Milady de Winter, Miranda Priestley, and Raymond Reddington on the blacklist. Oh, wait. I actually watched The Devil Wears Prada with Mama Escalus a long time ago. It was a pretty good movie. I wasn't expecting to like what's technically a character-driven romance. It was quite good, actually. For anyone that doesn't know, it was about an intern that starts working for this really, really awful draconian kind of boss who is like a visionary in the fashion industry. And like the only way to climb up in the fashion industry is by like riding other people's coattails or something. I think she ultimately wanted to be a reporter or something. A writer. She wanted to be a writer and somehow ended up as like the apprentice of this like really seemingly terrible person that was hiding like a good side the whole time. It was a pretty entertaining movie, actually. Huh. So I'm like a commander architect, huh? That's kind of interesting. Commander architect. XNJT. XNJT. Or, sorry, XNTJT. XNTJT. Interesting. Okay, let's change tabs. Let's hope let's hope this works. All right. Upcoming Civ 5 mastermind here. Yeah, someone mod me into the game. Orion Escalus, new commander of the Celestial country, of course. So ENTJ, INTJ. All right, let's do the architect side first. Let's see what we got. Logical architects. I don't know what this diagram means. Blah 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 blah. That looks like a coffee stain. Famous INTJs. All right, let's take a look. You didn't see anything. Yeah, why would it do that? Why did it do that? Okay, well, I gotta edit the VOD now. Well. Oh my gosh. Speaking of editing the VOD, I still need to edit the Somnium Files finale VOD. No, don't worry. That was not. Oh no. So, there's like a little login button. No. Like there wasn't, like, this is not me just trying to deflect. There actually wasn't anything there. Basically, it was prompting me to log in to the AstraLog staff email and my personal Orion Escalus email. Yeah, I am... No actual, like, doxing information came up there. I just would prefer that someone who wanted to give me a rough time... Like, not saying anyone here will, but if somebody wanted to give me a rough time, they could go... No, it's just a staff email. So if we're setting up something that needs... an email attached to it that's not one of us, we're going to use that email if we need to make an account. Okay, so Sasuke. Sasuke is pretty cool. Ray, pretty cool. Scaramouche from Genshin Impact. I know very little about Genshin and its characters, but I do know people like this character. Wednesday Addams. Okay. Elizabeth Harmon from the Queen's Gambit. Interesting. Isn't Scaramouche a villain? I don't know. Is he a playable character now? Is Genshin the kind of game where villains turn into playable characters? Squid Game. I did not watch Squid Game, but so I don't know. Lelouch v Britannia. Oh yeah. He's playable. Interesting. Oh yeah, so basically, if somebody wanted to give me a rough time, they could find my like exactly how our personal emails are formatted and sign us up for like spam emails, you know? I don't want to do that. All I remember about him is that once he discovered the world might not be real, he kind of goes, what? The world? I'm afraid that's actual Genshin spoilers, so I will not comment any further on that, but that's very interesting. I didn't get this far in Demon Slayer. Is she the butterfly girl? Is she the butterfly girl? He was already nuts. Okay, interesting. Is this the butterfly girl? I think she appears like right around the time there's like that really epic episode and they fight the what do you call it? The spider demons, right? She appeared. She's one of the, it's not spoilers, it's from a limited time event. Ah, okay, okay. The world's not real? What the heck? Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What do you mean? What do you mean the world's not real? What do you mean the world's not real? Ah! Okay. She's one of the people from the Elite Corps thingy, I think. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Sounds like an author, but I didn't get that far. Kurapika, Suguru. Suga from BTS. Kemi Homura. I recall, he just kind of goes, WTF? Am I getting pranked? Interesting. Near. Kaguya Shinobu. Dream? All I know about Shinobu is that my lesbian friend, who is definitely afraid of butterflies, was super conflicted about her hard crush on Shinobu. That's crazy. Let's see. Danganronpa, I don't know. Raiden A, Doctor Strange, Diluc from Genshin Impact, House, Moriarty from, what was that? That one Moriarty anime. Huh. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Did they actually base this Moriarty's... Yeah, Moriarty the Patriot, right? Did they actually base this Moriarty's, like, character on the actual psychoanalysis of the actual Moriarty? That's crazy. Severus Snape. Yo, Lloyd Forger. That's the dude from Classroom of the Elite. Oreki Hotaro. Yo, for the longest time, my Discord, like years ago, like when I first joined Discord, I used Oreki Hotaro as my avatar on Discord. Tsukishima K from Haikyuu. He was a cool character. Batman. Let's see. Victor from Arcane. Arcane is way better than it has any right being. The other Batman. Actually, are there multiple Batmans? Yeah, there are multiple Batmans. One from the comics and one from the 2022 Batman. That's the Robert Pattinson one, I think. Okay. Wonder when we get a new Arcane season. Didn't they announce it for 2025? Early 2025? I think they announced a release date in like a big fancy trailer that actually revealed nothing other than the date. Haven't heard anything about it for a long time. I could have sworn we heard something about it. Thanos. Sometimes you've got to do something yourself. Nikola Tesla, Silco, Mona, Scar, Giorno Giovanna, Akashi Keiji, Raven. Okay. Can I put 100? Okay, we'll look at the top 100. Look at the top 100. Raven. Okay. Annabeth Chase from Camp Half-Blood. What? Camp Half-Blood. Isn't that Percy Jackson? What? Why is it under? Is there a spin-off? Is there an anime spin-off? I'm just looking at this and I'm like, huh? Interesting. I read some of the books. Oh man, so like clearly the Percy Jackson series is written for like young adults, I guess. Like it's not super complex fiction, but around the time I read it, I kind of blasted through the entire like first series and its sequel series. It's in the weird period where things got Percy Jackson and Maximum Ride got Western manga adaptations. That's crazy. I might have just taken a random Google image result for those without official media appearance. That's fair. Yeah, but the thing is I've never seen a better example, at least of stuff that I've casually read, of a character, or rather of an author getting better at writing over time. It's actually really cool because you could tell that they haven't really set their style up in the early parts of the series, and there are some shaky things that kind of just happen that don't feel like they were introduced or explained as well as they probably could have. And as the books go by, you're like, whoa, this is gripping narrative. I don't have to suspend my disbelief anymore. It's really well written. So good on whoever that guy is, the author of the Percy Jackson series. Good on him. Yo, there was a spin-off. Actually, does anyone here, I'm kind of curious, did anyone here read like anything from the Percy Jackson series? Yeah, there was a spin-off series. Oh, cool. At least a few people. Okay. Yeah, basically the premise was that, what letters did I get? I got a tie for, well, within margin of error for I and E. So I am both a commander and an architect, which is kind of cool. I'm an XNTJT. Yeah. Yeah, but there was a spin-off about the Egyptian gods, and they, rather than being stationed in New York City, they were stationed in New Jersey. And at some point, one of the characters in the Egyptian side of things is like, why don't we ever go to New York? And they're like, oh, that's not our jurisdiction. I'm like, oh, I get that reference. Take seriously a character named Parsley when I was a kid. Parsley. His name is Percy. Pronounced the same as parcel in French. Oh my gosh, I see. Eisen from Bleach, okay. Kurisu from, okay, so like these are chess master characters. Interesting. Ciel from Black Butler. I've not actually seen Oshinoko yet. Everyone says it's really good, but a lot of fans suddenly were just like, Orion, stop. Don't think about it anymore. It's gone places it shouldn't have. And I'm like, I can only imagine. Dr. Ratio. Get ratioed. Rohan Kishibe, Yelena, Gandalf the Grey, Rin Itoshi. Let's see. Heinrich Lunge. Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah. Here we go. Gone places it shouldn't have is usually what piques my interest in them even more. Well, perhaps you'd have some interest there. Hey, this is the protagonist of Dune, right? I kind of want to watch Dune, but I screwed myself over by not watching it when it was in theaters. It's like, apparently the director's work is really well suited to big screen, and I don't know where I'm going to see Dune 1 in a theater at this point. Lisan al-Gaib? Okay. Like, around the time Dune came out, there were a lot of viral clips kind of going around on YouTube. And I think the first thing I clicked, just because I was curious, it was like the Dune ritual chant, but it's breakcore. And it was like a bunch of people chanting, and then the drums are going like in the background. I'm like, yo, and there was like a beat, and I'm like, this is stupid, and I love it. Stephen Hawking. Let's see. Death from Shrek. I have not seen the Puss in Boots movie. I hear it was like absolutely phenomenal. It went with a very cool art style, I think. I should see it. Yeah, no, I really should. Ludwig van Beethoven. Princess Luna, Moon Dong-yoon, Oppenheimer. Sarah Chidoin. Kim Dokcha. Wednesday Addams again. I guess it's from a different adaptation. Not Princess Luna. Isn't that My Little Pony? Wasn't she like the villain in an early series or something? Yeah. I see. We don't talk about the first Puss in Boots movie. That one was mid at best. Yeah, that one was kind of just cranked out like straight to video, right? Villain redeemed. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I ever was far enough. Gosh, I've told this story before, but I kind of was like duct taped to a wall and made to watch My Little Pony at one point in my life. It was interesting. It was surprisingly well written, but I wouldn't really call myself a fan of the series. It was really cool though, because they did have cameos from some pretty famous actors, actually. I know Robert Delancey pretty much just played Q from Star Trek in it. I thought that was kind of neat. Friendship is Magic was neat. Not all episodes were great, but a lot of them were good and some great character. I don't think she was really a villain. Interesting. Was she like one of those misunderstood people? Discord was great. Yeah, Discord was the Q style character. Oh my god. I'm the minion master. I'm the minion master. I have similarities to Gru. And Miles Edgeworth. Okay, interesting. I'm going to put the sensor up and I'm going to switch to ENTJ to see what similarities I have over there. ENTJ. So this is Commander. I'm going to scroll down and enable 100. All right, here we go. From the top, Light Yagami. Okay. Asuka from Evangelion. It's a bit of a mark of shame, but I have not actually finished any Evangelion. I've watched when I was way too young. My older cousin showed me the original Neon Genesis Evangelion, and we got to the like funny episode where they're like practicing DDR, like Asuka and Shinji are practicing Dance Dance Revolution to get more in sync so that they could defeat an angel that requires them to be like perfectly coordinated. And it was a funny episode. It was a gag episode and I enjoyed it so much. And I turned to my cousin and I said, this was the best episode ever. I can't wait to see what happens next. And he just deadpan responds, Orion, that is the last fun episode in the entire series. It gets really dark from there. And then I refused to hang out with him for the entire rest of the like family holiday, because if I hung out with him, he was going to show me more Evangelion. And I didn't want to see a series that was dark and sad because I was way too young for it. It's dark and messed up in many ways. Oh, I understand by like osmosis and proxy. I completely understand, but yeah, I was not ready. I was not ready as a kid. Nightmare Moon, she was a villain, but looks like a corrupted alter ego born of conflict. I see. Really precious, but also disappointing. Yeah, I really need to watch the second half. Honestly, I probably just need to re-watch the show, period, and then actually get to the rebuild movies. All right. Azula from Avatar. Rio. Sukuna. Sukuna's the villain from Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Griffith, also villain. Erwin Smith. Eric Cartman. Kamisato Ayato. Isn't this the dude in Genshin who has the bubble tea in his sleeves? Umbrella Academy. Miyuki Shirogane. I am both Miyuki Shirogane and Kaguya. Whatever her first name is. I forgot her first name. Oh my gosh, amazing. Devilman Crybaby. Wait, there's a lot of villains here. Like I see Devilman Crybaby, I see Dio, I see Steve Jobs. No, I think Steve Jobs is better than a lot of other people. But we got Cruella de Vil, Mr. Beast, Napoleon Bonaparte, Madara Uchiha, Lord Voldemort. There's a lot of villains here. What the heck? Leia Organa. The worst villain of all. Worst villain of all. Alexander Hamilton. That's from the musical, right? I'm not surprised a lot of characters considered villains are in there, as pragmatism is often considered a villainous trait. Interesting. But isn't this supposed to be the more emotional side? The less logical side? Interesting. Hey, Uma. Welcome in. I am within the margin of error for E and I, so I'm technically an XNTJ. I equally represent Commander and Architect. The purple guy! Is that the purple guy? Was that the bite of 87? Skate the Infinity. Sheldon J. Plankton. Aristotle. Mel Medarda. Isn't that the dude that led Jace astray? My boy Jace. Don't forget to hydrate. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I have probably been missing notifications. Give me 1 second. I'm going to hide the screen for a second because I might accidentally start sharing. Oh my gosh. What happened? You know what? I think I pressed a button that, oh my gosh. Shoot. For some reason, my my things aren't showing up, and I might have accidentally glitched my monitoring screens off of my monitor because I'm trying to share something without doxing myself. Give me a second. Give me a second. I think I have the command. Okay. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry for missing all those notifications. Yeah, sorry. The window just got hidden. All right, let's turn the sensors off. All right, so she leads Jace astray as much as he opened his mind to new opportunities. Nah, dude went from caring about his friends to caring about the relations with him and Noxus or something, right? I don't know. He's like, I don't think Victor would have gone the way he did if Jace wasn't there to support him. Okay, hydrate. I'm so sorry for not picking up on that. Thankfully, it looks like I didn't miss too much. Okay. All right. I have consumed water. Jace still cares about his friend, but lots of stuff happens in a short period of time in the show. Yeah. I guess it's important when you have a lot on your plate, make sure you're still looking out for your friends, I think. Hunter. Isn't this like an old woman or something who has assumed like a child's form or something and she can beat the crap out of people? I don't remember. Oh, interesting. This particular place categorizes Arnold Schwarzenegger as an ENTJ as opposed to an INTJ. Kafka, that's the quote-unquote Dommy Mommy character that people can't seem to get enough of from Honkai Star Rail. I've had long rants about this character type before. I think there's tremendous potential. There's tremendous potential. It's not the kind of character type that I appreciate, but I think there is tremendous potential in exploiting people based on this. And judging by the fact that a lot of revenue was made from Kafka alone, no, Sele, I am tied. I am 1% within the margin. I am within the 1% margin of error for I and E. So I'm both commander and architect. The math don't lie. It's crazy. I am an XNTJ. It just sounds cool. Guru Gamesh. Ken with the exact reaction I expected. I expect nothing less from our leader. All right, I'll support you guys. You ain't no Dio Brando, that's for sure. I'm not a Dommy Mommy. Oh my gosh, you just gave me an idea for next year's April Fools. Oh, I'm cooking. I have ideas. We have no stop bet. Yes. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to be the Dommy Mommy. I'll figure something out. Okay, I've talked about this before in previous trips to Japan. Upon returning from previous trips to Japan, I think... Okay, so brief backstory, right? There are maid cafe-ish kinds of things called concept cafes in Japan, where you go there and essentially drink alcohol or soda or whatever with women that, or men in some cases, that are portraying a particular character type, whether it's personality based or based on a theme. I looked it up. The cafe I went to in Kanazawa was called Aku Cafe. It was a devil girl cafe, and that kind of content is seriously not my cup of tea. I prefer interacting with, like, oh gosh, it feels awful. It feels awful, but I like to interact with people organically, I guess. I don't want to pay someone to talk with me, if that makes any sense. Hoping a cafe themed around Samurai Jack Aku. Well, I might have enjoyed it a little more if it was, but it was an all right experience, and the people that enjoyed it a lot, right? So you can simply have people wear costumes and that's your concept, or they can act a certain way, right? There is the $1 million idea. The $1 million idea that at least I know of. You're right. Samurai Jack Aku Cafe has some potential, but my $1 million idea is a Dommy Mommy Cafe. AstraLog Concept Cafe? Well, that's a different one than the Dami Mami one, okay? Because so actually there's a paradox, right? A lot of times when concept cafes are being advertised, the girls or the boys that are wearing the costumes line up on the streets and kind of hand out pamphlets and sort of call out, right? And it occurred to me that I've never seen a Dami Mami type made character working at a concept cafe in the streets, because I don't go to concept cafes. I don't seek these out. So perhaps they exist. But then it struck me, if a Dami Mami concept cafe already exists, you never see them on the streets because of how popular they are. The people that want to be stepped on need their cafe. Give the people what they want. Now, I need to clarify, I am not one of those people, but when I see an opportunity, I'm like, we gotta capitalize on this. I'm gonna open a Dami Mami cafe, and people are gonna go nuts for it. The Prime Minister, yeah, as Prime Minister of virtual Japan, I say we need more Dami Mami cafes, because that will fix the inflation problem with the yen. The yen stable. It'll be 1-to-1 with the American cent. This is how AstraLog fundraises. Yeah, there's so much potential here. There is literally so much potential here. And I think it's time. I think the people, look, Makima Chainsaw Man, Kafka Honkai Star Rail, the Dami Mami type characters. Okay, this was originally a stream about me doing a psychoanalysis on myself. Forget about it. Forget about it. You all here are witness to this. Dami Mami Cafe is the future. And God, this is so messed up. Not sure if that can single-handedly fix the Japanese economy, but it would probably be successful. Okay. Wait, if you think about it, a prime minister is both a commander and an architect, aren't they? Let's see if I recognize more characters. Vox from Hasbin Hotel. Okay. Let's see. That's like one of the... I've seen cosplayers of that person running around. Like, you always see people with the... like TV or computer head cosplays, but now there's like one in popular media. Who are you and what did you do with Ori? I am always like this. I can go back to the other page and look at the unhinged dark humor aspects I've been suppressing according to the survey. Let's see, Ursula. But the queen in chess? Are you serious? Goku Black, Aiden Gallagher, and Tony Soprano. All right, well, shucks. That's it. According to the survey, I am XNTJT. XNTJT. Internet persona, what? Internet personality? Persona Lou? Oh my gosh, like more persona news on the horizon. Internet personality test. This guy's got issues. I mean, really, honestly, this page has a lot of problematic villain characters, right? But the previous page, the INTJ one, I don't know, like they were like a lot of leader characters. I have a persona. Oh, if I had a persona, what would it be? You know, like, there's always those conversations that are like, if you have a JoJo stand, what's your JoJo stand going to be, right? But personas, I feel you'd pick something. You'd pick something from like mythology, right? Would my the thing is, I don't think my persona would actually be Orion the Hunter. Orion the Hunter was like an awful person. Like a hero, but also did terrible things. And I'm like, I am the avatar of the constellation, not the hero. You know, actually, you know what? Ready for some deepest lore? It would be Prince Escalus from Romeo and Juliet. There would totally be a Shin Megami Tensei, like, spirit or demon or persona based on Shakespearean plays, right? It's just an Orion is a horrible person. No, no, no. I pet puppies and I feed people. I don't kick puppies. I don't take people's food away. Yeah, but if I had a persona, it would totally be some stylized version of Prince Escalus from Romeo and Juliet. He is the Prince of Verona, where our fair story is laid, or however it opens. And he kind of just has to deal with a bunch of crap. And he watches like everything happen. So he's like an observer, a watcher, someone who bears witness to a lot of things. Even Pop's puppies? Wait, no, Pet's puppies, the opium. No, I'm not even talking about that. Yeah. So yeah, if I had a persona, it would be Escalus, right? But if I had a stand, if I had to base it off of a music group, like dad rock music group that doesn't exist. The problem is I don't actually know. Yeah, I don't actually know if because I haven't read beyond a certain part. I might just pick like I might pick a stand, and then it turns out it already exists because Araki already borrowed it. Shin Takurajima? Yeah, I like that. Sele, you are absolutely right. It would be Shin Takurajima. 110%. 110%. I really like that. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, my stand, Shin Takurajima. What is its ability? I don't know. It sounds really cool though. Stand will probably be like Jam Project or Rhapsody. Ooh, that's awesome. Jam Project. Yo, imagine a Jam Project themed stand called like Heats or something. Oh, that would be so cool. Stand Dream Theater. Though I think that if stands could be based on things that weren't just classic rock, it would be kind of cool to have a stand called The Twilight Zone. Atsukunare. Oh man, I'm gonna be listening to Jam Project tonight. That's gonna be fun. All right, well, Jam Project stand replicates ultimate moves of mecha shows. Yo, that sounds phenomenal actually. The final hits, the last hits in a lot of mecha shows are fantastic. All right, well, I've been going for about 2 hours, so I suppose the verdict is it's gonna be this. It's Architect. But like it's right on the line. Like a lot of the description for extroverted applies to me as well. Man, that is like right down the line. I'm a complex person. Everyone's a complex person, I think. But yeah, thank you all for joining tonight. I think I'm gonna actually call it quits there. Let's talk about what I'm gonna be doing coming up. I don't believe it has been 100% scheduled yet, but Friday, I believe there's going to be a celebration of some kind for Kiwi's birthday. Kiwi Pigment is their username. They're an awesome person, and it'll be a fun thing to do. And whatever happens on Friday, whenever that happens, I will be there for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And on Saturday, it is Sele's 12-hour 6-month anniversary. Absolutely fantastic. I'm so looking forward to what happens there. So much cool stuff. And I'm going to pretty much make myself available the whole day because I want to bear witness. I want to bear witness to what happens. And on Sunday, I am going to probably try playing Balatro. Forces you to get up at 9 a.m. Joke's on you. I already wake up that early on Saturdays. I do my best to wake up at the same time. The same time every morning, every week. No. I'll be awake and I will be there. I'll be there. Will not miss a minute of it. Yeah, but I want to play Balatro, but Balatro? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's pronounced literally in the trailer, and I checked before stream just in case, and I forgot what it was. But Oh my gosh, if you don't know what Balatro is, it's really cool. Basically, someone turned poker into a roguelike. Essentially, you play rounds of poker from a deck, but over time, you can modify the deck by like tearing cards to pieces, transforming the cards into other things, or like buying new cards in the shop. And you can buy these various jokers that can change the basic rule set of how the game is played. And it looks so cool. And the game, whoever designed it, really knew how to make a satisfying interface. Everything about the interface is just like, ooh, that felt good hearing like the cards flipping and like the buttons being pressed. And like the music is just a vibe. And I'm really looking forward to trying that out. And I'll probably play it for a little bit, at least, on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably not going to begin, like, Sekiro proper until I have at least a few projects that I'm currently working on out of the way. Because I don't want to spread myself too thin. I know one of the questions in the test was about being overwhelmed and stuff like that. And I do feel like there's a lot on my plate, but I don't want to push the envelope because I still want to do a fantastic job on every single thing. So look forward to that. Yeah, so that's what's coming up. I may still put out an official schedule just to further highlight the events that are happening on Friday and Saturday because it's a big deal. It's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably do that. Yeah, but there's plenty of amazing, cool stuff to look forward to. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. If you are a mutual, if you are a VTuber mutual, a streamer mutual, a PNG tuber mutual, I don't care. AstraLog is working on a project, and I am trying to gather as many people who would be interested in making a cameo appearance. Yeah, I can't talk very much about it, but I think it's going to be very cool. Do you count as a mutual? Of course you do. Of course you do. By all means, by all means. If you follow me on Twitter and I follow you back, that's enough. And if you don't, follow me on Twitter and I'll follow you back. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the link, Sele. Yeah, great idea. Great idea. But pretty much just drop your design here and I'll do my best to try working it in. A lot more people have responded than I initially thought would. That post is doing numbers, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I can say I will not be drawing the designs, and I will not be like AstraLog will not be profiting from this in any way. It's just a cool Easter egg that we kind of want to include because honestly, the community is amazing, and like I feel that we should do something to just shout it out, you know? Yeah. Basically, you guys are all awesome. Thank you for being a part of things and helping AstraLog grow, because how far we've come is just mind-blowing. And not streaming for a month, just like normally I ruminate and I have bad thoughts when I overthink things, right? But I'm so passionate. Like AstraLog is such a passion of mine. It's a passion of all of us. And it means so much to see it grow like this. So I'm so fired up. You have no idea. I'm incredibly fired up, and expect some cool stuff in the future. Expect some cool stuff. I am fired up, and yeah, it's exciting times on the way. I'm gonna cry in the 6th month. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry in the 6 months. I'm gonna cry out when the stream is over. Sele, Uma, and everyone else, you are all amazing. Suggestion for Sele. All right, Fafnir, let's hear it. I can sense typing. I can sense typing is happening. But yeah, but after this, I'm probably going to find somebody to raid an alternate volley and switch the items for tissue boxes. Oh, for Twitch integrated throwing system. Yeah. Well, that's up to Sele to implement if he wants to do it. But yeah, we've got an exciting week coming up, so look forward to fun stuff. All right. Until we meet again, see you soon. Yo, it looks like Kaido is just starting to roll for that one Honkai Star Rail character that everyone wants, Aventurine. Let's raid into him. That would be fun. Let's wish lots of luck on that pull, because I've watched a few people do pulls today, and it wasn't always a happy ending. So let's give our support